Hi, I'm Alexandra Sleator, Career Accelerator. And for those of you who are celebrating it, let me wish you a very happy Easter Monday. To everybody else, I hope your week is off to a smashing start. In last week's video, I talked to you about Star Wars and self-confidence. And I promised you that I would share a simple 3-step model about gaining, harnessing your self-confidence. So this is really about how to wield the lightsaber, if I continue with the Star Wars analogy. 3 steps to using the Force, Luke. The first step is listen, then it's say what you think, and finally say what you want. It's a very simple model, but often in life, simple things are deceptive, so it will take you practice to get it right, to get it working for you, to get it into the muscle so that it becomes second nature, right? Just like Luke training, you will have to do that as well. Let me elaborate a little bit more on the model, and in particular the first step, listen, is a crucial one. Because what often happens is when we have something on our mind, something we want to tell to someone, and we've been gathering our courage to go up to that person and speak to them, you know, a family member, and at work, especially a boss or at least a senior colleague, our head is full of our message, of all those things that we're longing to say. And so we never stop to listen. But imagine how it will feel like to you if somebody jumps on you and without preamble just launches into a spiel. Would you give them your full attention, or would you be somehow in your mind saying, what's going on here? What is this person on about? You wouldn't be listening. Well, they won't listen either unless you prepare the ground by listening to them first. There's a law called the law of reciprocity, and so if you start by listening, you will incentivize, you will encourage the person to want to listen to you as well. So ask how they're doing. Ask if this is a good time to talk. Ask if this is the right place to talk. And then gradually hedge in. Ask them what they think about the topic or how they feel about it, so that you don't jump on them with your topic. By laying the groundwork, you will find out where they are, what is their position, and you will come to realize if you are very far apart, or in contrast, you are relatively close. So when you listen to someone, you build rapport, and again, you can use the law of reciprocity to incentivize them to listen to you as well, but you make your topic relevant because you've introduced it in a way that makes it natural for you to continue with what you have to say. And the third thing that happens when you listen is that you relax. Because if you really listen attentively, and I'm not saying you should pretend, because if you pretend, the other person will spot it. If you're just going through the motions of listening, it won't be genuine and you will be found out. But if you really listen, the person will sense it, they will want to listen back, and because you've been very concentrated into listening, you will calm down. You will not be as upset about what you have to say. It will naturally bring your nervosity down. So that's 3 good reasons why you want to listen: rapport, relevance, and relax. So this is step 1. Now the light is shining on you. It's your moment to speak your piece. But be careful. Don't jump. And again, a lot of people rush in and they effectively destroy all the good work that they did in step 1 with the listening. So link step 1 to step 2. Remember that it's step 1, you should have been able to find out a little bit about how the other person feels or what they think about the topic that you want to discuss. So if you have discovered that in fact the two of you are pretty much on the same page, say, I agree. And how about if? Or say, oh, I can see that we're on the same page, and have you thought about X? In the contrary, if you have discovered that the two of you are quite at odds, maybe something like, I can see your point of view, but a possible way of looking at this could be. You see, so you're continuing to acknowledge that you've heard the person, that you're continuing to listen, and you're much smoother in how you bring about what you want to say about what you think. Okay, so now say what you think. But another word of caution, use the KISS principle. Now some people say that KISS is about keep it simple, stupid. I like to think of KISS as keep it short and simple. Indeed, do not overwhelm the person with a torrent of information, because two things will happen. They will lose the plot and they will lose the will to live. Anyway, you've lost them. So focus on one, at the very maximum, 2 core messages. And I know sometimes we have more than 2 things to say, and then you need to have more than 1 conversations. Pace yourself, even if you're impatient. 1 thing at a time so that you can really deal with it. You know how it is for you. You can't process too many things either, so don't expect the other person to be able to do that either. Okay, so KISS. Right, so now you've done step 1 and step 2. Let's go for step 3. Step 3 is say what you want. Oftentimes a lot of people don't understand that step because they think actually they covered it in step 2. But that's different. Step 3 is about answering the question, so what? You've told me what you think, so what does that mean? I.e., what do you want about what you told me you thought? Let me give you an example, a story that I'm just remembering. It was this really lovely chap, he's called Andrew, and who knows, he may be watching. And he was a junior member of the team, but doing really well, a little bit shy, and he was wondering about promotion. I encouraged him to go and talk to my boss, so his big boss, about that. And so he was courageous. He went in, blocked a one-on-one with that senior manager, and he's doing fine. He's building a rapport, doing a bit of chit-chat. He's asking about the criteria for promotion, so he's making the topic relevant. And as he does all that, he's relaxing into it. He gets through step 1 brilliantly. So in step 2, he makes a very nice link to the fact that he's doing well and that he thinks that based on the criteria they've just discussed and his contribution, he thinks he deserves a promotion. That's it. He said what he thinks. So he's gotten through step 2, very nice. And all the time that this is going on, his senior manager is nodding. So this is brilliant. But you know what he did? Then he just petered out. He suddenly said, "Thank you very much for your time," and he was gone. He forgot to say something like, "Well, it's been great talking to you, it was very informative to learn about the promotion criteria, and I'm glad to see that you seem to agree that I'm deserving of promotion. May I ask you to support me at the next promotion committee?" Because that's what he wanted, but he didn't say it. So in that sense, he didn't close the deal. Closing is, of course, a sales term where we think, we close the deal, we shake hands on it. And often in conversations that have nothing to do with sales, we think that we don't have a deal to close, but that's not true. Because every time that we want to influence someone, we are in fact trying to sell them something, our idea, our wish. So we need to close, just as though we were really doing a real sale. And so Andrew forgot to close. So what happened? The good news is he was promoted. But the fact of the matter is that he bit his nails and he wondered and he fretted during all the time between that meeting with the line manager and the moment when he was finally told that he was promoted, because he wasn't sure of the line manager's support because he hadn't asked for it. He hadn't told him what he wanted. So that's an illustration for why you need to get to the so what. You say what you think and then you say what you want. So there it is, the 3-step model for self-confidence. Now it's your turn. Go and practice it, see how you feel with it, what portions of it you find more tricky than others, and by all means let me know. I will be very interested to hear how you're getting along with it and what questions you have. I told you it's deceptively simple, and it's also, because it's so simple, it has shortcomings. I'll be frank with you about that. There are situations where you need to adapt it. And in fact, in my practice, I work with a more complete model, a 7-step model called Assert. So if you'd like to learn about Assert, by all means, let me know as well. Anyway, this is it for now. I hope this is useful for you, and I will invite you to join me next Monday the 29th, a very big day for us Londoners with the royal wedding, to share with you some tips about dealing with conflict. You know, when somebody jumps on you, somebody criticizes you, somebody's using a harsh tone of voice, how do you cope with that? So if that's of interest to you, I'll look forward to seeing you next week for some more tips on self-confidence. Until then, use the force, keep well, and thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.